Hello, friends. Welcome to the episode 39 of Suman versus Human. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Guys, today's guest is a real superhero. The superhero who is on a wheelchair, suffering 90% of locomotive disability, a superhero suffering 80% of hearing loss, a superhero who suffered 50 bone fractures, but still this superhero standing tall as an inspirational personality, motivating millions and millions of people across the globe. I am so excited. I'm sure, I'm pretty sure you are also excited. Without much delay, let me quickly welcome Mr. Sai Kaustuv Daasgupta on the show. Mr. Sai, welcome to Suman versus Human.
Thank you, Subhan, for this grand welcome. Thank you so much. And hello to all the people who are listening.
Sai, I have seen people like you on the silver screen. I remember watching a movie called Guzarish, where Indian hero Hrithik Roshan plays a character sitting on the wheelchair. And I also remember that scientist Stephen Hawking, who is on the wheelchair and done a lot of great things in the world. But those things, what I know, was very far to me. But you are a wonderful personality from my own country, Bharat, and doing such a lovely miracles. And I'm super duper excited. I am so interested to know more details about you. I want to start with your disability. What is this and how did you acquire it?
Okay, so I what you told in the beginning about the Gujarish movie and Stephen Hawking, the both are very good comparison to my present condition. And especially Stephen Hawking is one of my biggest inspiration, you can say idol, and whom I learned a lot from the life and from the message he wanted to give to the world.
Hmm.
And another side, Hrithik Roshan is also one of my favorite actor, and the way he did the movie, we generally see this kind of thing in silver screen. We try to relate this character in our real life, but you said it correctly. Sometimes it is far away, and sometimes we cannot relate because in movies and in stories, people always imagine something, but when it happens actually, you come to know a real life person. You come to know a story which exists. It
Yes.
resonate you. It resonate more connection with you, and you feel that okay, this happens.
Yes.
So my condition, my brittle bone disease, it's all not a story. It's all fact, and I am living it every day. So it started like I originally belong from north side of India, North Bengal, a beautiful place called Siliguri.
Oh.
So my parents born there, and they born and brought up there. Their workplace, everything is there, and being born in Siliguri, which is significantly a very cultural and creative place. My background, my family are very rich in culture and creativity. So I was born normal. There was no issue with my mom or during the time of coming out from my mom's home.
Hmm.
Everything was normal, all fine.
Hmm.
Main story of Sai started when I was around 3.5 months old. At that time, one day I started crying, and I was in my grandma's lap. Then my mom took me, and I was still crying. And then she was the first person. She figured out that my right hand was moving. It is not normal way. So
Hmm.
she felt something happened to my right hand, and My parents took me to the local doctors,
Hmm.
and doctors saw that there is a fracture in my right hand.
Oh.
So it was like for the doctor also little surprise, because how can a small baby of 3.5 month old
Hmm.
having a fracture?
Hmm.
But it can happen, because accidents happen. People life anytime randomly. So maybe it's accidentally happened. They made it a plaster, and I came back home. But the main saga started when around a year, more than 3 times I, took fracture. I undergone fracture, and
Oh.
that time my parents felt something is wrong with me, because why I'm having major fracture at such a young age repeatedly.
Major fractures
Uh,
without any physical assault, right?
Correct. Yeah, there was a very slight movement. It was happening,
Hmm.
and then my parents took a decision to get me to Kolkata.
Hmm.
So Kolkata was 12 hours journey from Siliguri.
Hmm.
They took me there because all the orthopedic surgeon, orthopedic specialist, they are all in Kolkata.
Hmm.
So they
Hmm.
took me there, and then after 6 to 7 days, I undergone lot of tests and all these things. Then around that time, I was around 1.5 years old.
Hmm.
Doctors in Kolkata diagnosed that I am having OI. So OI is a short term of Osteogenesis Imperfecta. It's a rare disease, and it happens to you, one in 15,000 people globally.
Oh.
Uh, it's such a rare disease that there is no cure or treatment or medicine invented yet.
Hmm.
So I am having that OI, and that is a moment my parents also come to know about it first time, because in our family nobody had any kind of any disease, and it is not a genetic one. So
Hmm.
it happened to me specially, and it made me special. It made me rare. And later they found that it happens to the person when there is a lack of collagen
Hmm.
in your bones and muscle, makes it more brittle, and any random touch or movement can make you suffer in
Fracture.
fracture. And there are a lot of type 1 to type 23 is there, and mine is type 3. So that's what the disease is all about, because type 1 people are having very fractured the moment they are getting out of the mother's womb. But luckily, I am type 3, so my frequencies were not so severe. But as you told in the introduction, I already suffered from 50 plus fracture.
Hmm.
It is not 50, more than 50, but official count, according to the medical report, I had 50 plus fracture.
Sai, this is a big trauma for you physically and also mentally. Okay. But I want to know the state of mind of your parents. What was their reaction when they came to know about?
That's a beautiful question, actually. Every people, everyone who come to know about the disease, they expect that it will be a scenario. It would have been a scenario for my parents to, get frustrated or get down, demotivated, because it is a very natural thing for a couple to not
Hmm. Hmm.
expect a
Hmm.
special child to come in their family. I'm not telling it to in a negative sense, but nobody expects a special child to be born in a
Yes.
family where there is
And
no
that too,
awareness
it is
or
not like a normal disability like blindness or only hearing impaired or something like that. This is very complicated disease, Sai.
yes. That's why. my parents were very clueless. They are coming to know about the disease for the first time in their life, and they don't know how to handle and everything.
Mm,
So they were consulting doctors, and doctors told them you need to take care Sai extreme level, like a glass. You
mm,
have to take care of him because that's the life Sai is going to lead. His bones are glass like, and it can break anytime, anywhere.
mm,
So but take care of him the best you can. And that time my parents, it was a mixed emotion. My other relatives, other community people, everyone is coming to know about it first time. They don't
mm,
know how to react it. But the best thing out of it is that my parents felt if God has blessed them with a special child, then why not?
mm, mm,
So
mm.
why not? They can upgrade themselves to a special parents. So they accepted me. They accepted me with everything, my condition, my disease, and whatever I am. And that's the best part. I think that's why today I am in a podcast show of Human versus Human. That's the beginning.
True, because your parents are special. They are really a special parents, and Team versus Human salutes them for the great work they have done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sai, how about your schooling and your collaboration with your friends and teachers? Because you are a sensitive, very sensitive kid.
Correct. Sensitive kid. Yeah, you used a very good word. Sensitive, not only from the mentally or other thing. I was sensitive from the physical
Yes,
frame.
yes, yes.
So and now there is a funny fact. Funny fact is that the place Siliguri that time when I was ready for my schooling. In my locality or in whole Siliguri, there was no special school or such kind of education institution
Mm,
where
mm.
I can go.
Yes.
And beyond that, my parents, the moment they accepted me, they had their own programming in their mind that Sai is not disabled.
Mm,
Who says Sai is disabled? Because I was working, I was doing everything what all the other kids are doing. Only thing is that in between I had fractures, I had to rush to hospital, and that's a routine for them.
mm,
So
mm,
they never treated me specially to go for a special school or to sit in a other bench where normal people students are not sitting. No, nothing happened in my childhood.
mm,
I was grown up as normal as other children. Only difference was my teachers they were aware of my disease and they were taking my care. But a lot of children at the same age group, people are not much aware about my critical case of
yes,
the
yes,
disease.
yes.
So many a time they used to, just sit beside me. It can happen a fracture, and
Yeah,
I sleep.
manhandling.
There was an incident which was very striking hard to me. As I was a good student, my mom also actually was a teacher in every school I was got admission.
Mm,
Because my mom was teacher previous, uh, like before my birth, and she continued that same career to take care of me. So
mm,
whenever I went to any school, she was a teacher for same school, so
mm,
that she can take special care at me.
mhm.
But I remember when I was in class four, I was very good in study and I came top in the whole school.
Wow.
I became top and I told my mom, she was a teacher there. I told that let's go to great dinner today with all. I was planning with my mom for a dinner to a good restaurant.
Mm, mm,
And next moment I came back to my class and one of my classmate was very happy, excited. Runningly, he came to me and shook hand me and congratulated being a topper.
oh,
And you can guess the result.
yeah, yeah. Multiple
My right,
fractures.
yes, my right hand got a major fracture because of the shake hand, and the night dinner planned shifted to a hospital. So that was my childhood. I never had played any cricket, football, or anything because I know a ball will hit me and I have to go to hospital again.
Yeah.
So I used to be in my balcony watching the other kids. But I was happy in my zone because that time I was dancing. I was actually a dancer in my first career.
Wow.
Uh, I used to dance from my heart. So I knew that I am little different and I was happy with my difference. That was my childhood all about.
Sai, when did you start using wheelchair? Because you said you were like normal other kid, you were also walking. Anyone didn't find any difference between you and the other children, right? So when did
Correct.
you acquire this wheelchair?
In the year 2001, I fall down in the bathroom and both of my legs got fractured at a time underneath.
Oh,
And I was rushed to hospital and I was crying a lot because both of
pain.
my yeah, it was too much pain. You cannot imagine how much it was paining.
Hmm.
And both of my leg were just like moved. It was like a separated. And I did not have the fracture in knees, just underneath. So doctor did a wrong plaster. What they did, I was sitting in a chair and they did plaster as I was sitting. So they did a mistake. Hurriedly, they did the mistake that they plastered my leg in a bending position, just like sitting in a chair. After 1.5 months, when they cut it out, both of my knee joint got fixed. I
Oh,
could not make my leg straight again.
oh.
So without any option, I had to sit in a wheelchair. It was very hard moment because I never imagined I have to sit in a wheelchair. And in Bengal, in the north place of India where I was belong, wheelchair is the extreme tool which people use when before they are going to die. They do not
Hmm, hmm.
see the wheelchair in a positive way. So I had literally, a long, hard time to accept myself in wheelchair.
How old were you that time?
So I'm a 1991 born. So it was 2001. So 10 years, 10 to 11 years.
Such a young age. So that was a negligence and medical negligence.
Absolutely. And after that, all the doctors told me and other hospitals that why not you, put a case against the doctor who did it. And I said, I can do that. All my money will waste and my time will waste running to the court, putting my message for that doctor. And maybe the doctor will get, license up.
Hmm,
Anything can
hmm.
happen. The doctor will lose the job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after all this thing, my ability of walking will not come in.
Hmm.
What I lost in my life, I lost.
Yeah.
And now doing all this thing is just a waste of time, I felt. So I told my parents and other people that if my destiny is lit like that, if my life is going to be in a wheelchair, let it be because a lot of people are in a wheelchair. I'm not going to die by sitting in a wheelchair. Let life goes on.
Sai, you are already born with broken fortune. Now, in 2001, again, the destiny has turned out like this that you have to stick on a wheelchair for throughout your life. Didn't you ever felt disheartening, depressed, and felt out of the world? Have you ever questioned yourself, like, why it is happened only to me? I'm asking you this question specially because, Sai, today you are inspiring millions of people. Millions of people are finding happiness in you. You became a happiness coach. So I want to listen to this answer from you.
Yeah, that's a very common question I have been, facing because the story of my childhood and the way I grown up, the way I accepted myself in wheelchair, it is not so fancy story. It's a story about emotion,
Hmm.
about overcoming fear, overcoming obstacles, overcoming hundreds and thousands of suffering in
mm,
a small age. But as you said, yeah, today I'm inspiring millions of people, and it has not happened in overnight.
mm,
It's a journey which I had to take only because I wanted to change. Not only my destiny, I wanted to change the mindset of people in India, where people think that disabled people cannot do anything. They are the uh, people who like to be in the corner of a room, entertaining sympathy, need help financially, mentally, physically to get into some success in the life. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to bring to everyone that a 90% disabled person also can be an example for the community, for the society. And that journey already was started in my childhood when there was a lot of other people used to taunt me sometime or my parents, my situation, and I could not answer them. But I was waiting that one day will come, I can give them a reply. And I had lot of barriers in my life
mm,
because
mm,
already there was fractures, and then I had to finish my education. In between we came to South India because my parents did everything possible for me to get well,
mm,
and there was no doctor left in India whom I have not seen.
mm,
So finally they come to know about South India in Andhra Pradesh, the super specialty hospital. They came with me for my betterment.
mm, mm,
So South India was a major challenge for me again, accepting the people, the atmosphere, the food, and everything. And then comes a period of 6 years.
mm,
As you asked me, I am telling it everyone that from 2009 to 2015, there was a 6 years of big traumatic dark time of my life where I had to confine into my small room.
mm,
Not even a wheelchair, not even anything. I had to confine to my bed, 360 degree. Everything was in bed, and I had to discontinue my study, my passion, my music, and everything. And by the time it was 2, 3 years, I was totally in depression.
mm,
And people may now, they ask, you are a happiness coach, then how did depression come to your life?
mm,
So that time I was not a coach. I was a regular person, but
mm,
I wanted to tell people that if you are a coach, if you are motivating, it is not that you cannot happen to be in a dark time,
mm,
because it always, I believe, these periods are the period where we learn the main purpose of our life.
mm,
So this disease broke my body, every part, every joint, but I never allowed my disease to break my heart. So my heart was having unbreakable spirit, and that unbreakable spirit also helped me to come out of that 6 years unofficial lockdown before COVID, which I had to face. And I came out as a wheelchair warrior because I knew I could have died, I
mm,
could have lost my life, I could have done anything to end my life because my life was black and white. But I did not do because if I would have done, I lost myself, then the message was very wrong to the community that
mm,
a
mm, mm.
parents, a special parents is a failure to upbring their children. And I could not set this example that I can do anything I wish to do. My ability or disability cannot make it a barrier for me. So I came as a wheelchair warrior in 2015, and 360 degree I changed my life the whole way. So it was a new birth of Sai, and you can say truly human. I became on 2015, the month of July. I come to know for whom I am in this world and what is my job to do and how I can do it.
You realized the purpose of life.
Yes, the self realization, correct.
You have only one finger left functioning, right? So this finger is your Brahmastra, that is tool, the heavenly
Correct.
tool. I want to know, how do you manage your work, your career, everything of your life with just a finger?
Yes, one finger can create magic.
Brahmastra.
Yes, yes, you can say that because being a spiritual guy, I was very fascinated with the stories and all, mythology, our Ramayana, Mahabharata, and
Mhm.
everything. I am very fascinated about spirituality, meditation, connecting to the superconscious and all these things. So from my childhood, I have listened to the story where Lord Krishna has done in one finger the whole Govardhana
Wow, what an example. Awesome.
so I had it in my childhood, but I never felt that that same thing can apply in my life. And I was telling you that 6 years of my depression, where my body got deteriorated so much, I could not function anything. I was not able to sit in my wheelchair also. I got stiff and only with the option of left hand one finger, which was little bit moving. One of my friends suggested me to do something to put colors in my black and white light. And
Mhm.
then I started educating myself in computers. That time, the big computer CPU and all, the desktop was there.
Mhm.
I started learning computer from my home, and it was very painful to hold a mouse with one finger
Mhm.
without any support and doing some basic computer stuff. But I felt if I lose, I cannot make my colorful life. I cannot get it back again. So I practiced overnight. 1 year I completed my diploma, and in 2 year I became designer and I started working for people. So it sounds like magic. It sounds like a story, but when there is a will, I feel there is a way. So my one finger, as you said, it has that potential. People sometimes feel granted to their fingers, but the smallest finger of my life, my body, became the most valuable asset of my life.
And how about your hearing loss?
Hearing loss was part of my disease, but up to my 16, 17 years, it was very subtle way. And as I started growing up more in my adolescence time, I started getting little more little. It was going bigger way, and then around my 25, I totally got lost in my left ear.
Mhm.
So I used to take mobiles and all, call and all from my right ear, and it started deteriorating. And now I'm having 80% hearing loss. So my left ear is not working at all. Right ear I manage, and I use hearing aids both. Yeah, it's sometime in the for a singer, for a motivational speaker, it is very necessary to listen people. So
Yeah.
sometimes I feel that I don't know how much more I can listen, how longer I will be able to listen in my life. But as far I can listen, let me spread the wave of happiness as best way I can.
My dear listeners, Sai is also a presidential awardee. He have won many awards, and one such award is a national award awarded by President of India. Sai, what was your experience and what was your emotion while you were receiving that award from the President of India?
That's one of the life's best, dream come true moment. The moment I got the news, it released in the website. Me, my parents, my young brother, everyone was having tears in eyes. It was because it was not a fight for me. It was a fight for my family to
Yeah,
establish
yeah, yeah,
in front of the world with all the success, with all the basic, things which a person with disability can acquire in their life. Getting good job, getting financial independence, getting mentally, physically someplace. What my parents felt one day I can achieve all these things. They felt overjoyed that okay, my our son has got the national award, so we got success. It is not size award. It was an award for all the people over my social media for all these years. Around 5 lakh people are there in my social media who are the people along with my own family, the well wishers. I think that's a dream come true for everyone. And but the moment I got the news, next moment I had a very big challenge because I cannot take fly flight.
mm, mm,
There is a restriction of my wheelchair going to the flight. That's why I cannot go into the air ever.
mm.
And I had to drive 5 days to Delhi from Bengaluru, every day sitting on my wheelchair for 15, 16 hours at a stretch. Totally 5 days journey to Delhi and then again come back in 5 days. So it was very hard, very challenging, but it's a one of a lifetime prestigious award. So I went there, I got it from the President of India, Draupadi Murmuji, and I felt this is the time. I now all the people are watching me live in Doordarshan, getting their answers. Who once felt Sai can do nothing, or Sai will be getting into trouble if a fracture will happen. So many people felt it's a life of failure. It's a life of wheelchair bound. It's a life of dependency in parents. So they felt at least now Sai is standing tall in a prestigious stage, getting some award, and making a message to the people that it is life is bigger than what we imagine. It is about doing something for other because everyone is good at something.
Yeah. Sai, now I would like to move out of this disability stuff. Now I want to touch your warrior shade of your life. You are a wheelchair warrior. And now I want to talk some revolutionary things you do. Sai, unfortunately, India is not accessible yet.
Right.
Especially when you talk about accessing the country through a wheelchair. It's not readily accessible yet. Because wherever I go, whichever city I travel to, whichever public place I go to, whichever private property I walk into, they are not at all accessible. Because I have seen banks situated in first floor, though the banks are in ground floor, there is no option of ramp. I have seen hospitals without ramp. I have seen government hospitals and government offices without wheelchair accessibility provisions. I have seen schools, college, institutions, you name it. I have seen those infrastructure without any provision for wheelchair access. What is the state of our country and what is your point of view on that?
Yeah, you said everything 100% correct. India is not an accessible nation yet. And the most disappointing thing is that the people of India is not trying to get an accessible nation because they do not understand the necessary or necessity, what is called basic access, why we need a ramp, why we need access to all the places for different kind of disability. The thing is because they do not encounter any disability mostly in their life. Again, I'm telling it not in a negative sense, but because I have done a lot of accessible campaign, I have made India many places accessible. So whenever I go into conversation with anyone who is not part of this community or so-called able person, they do not understand why it is necessary or what it important, and it's a part of our basic rights. Because making a ramp beside the stairs is not a cost factor,
Nothing.
but they do not
Nothing. Zero.
make a ramp because they do not need it.
Hmm.
And that why they do not need it? Because they have not seen a wheelchair person in their family. And why they have not seen a person in their family? Because they are so called fortunate people, and I bless them. I tell to God they should not have a child like me in their family. That's why India is not becoming accessible because India has not faced the face of disability in all the places. So it's a long way to go, Suman, and I am trying my best, whatever is possible, digitally, physically. I'm trying to bring this conversation to all the level, trying to make places accessible, how to whatever way I can, talking with the local authorities, talking with the people who need it. You can say that it is changing, but the progress, the rate of changing is very slow, and unless people are having that mind of equality that a person with disability in wheelchair, a person who cannot see, a person with autism, a person with muscular dystrophy is the part of same community where so-called able people belong, the nation will not become inclusive or accessible. I believe it starts from your home, Suman.
Yes,
You need to
yes.
take it from the home. First, our action should be in home to make them educated, to make them aware about accessibility, about our basic access in our education system, in our work system, in our diverse workplaces. It should start from the place where you are. And then that echo and wave will go to the society. And we are yet to do the progress, but I hope people will gradually start. Because there are a lot of listeners now listening to my podcast in this human versus human. So the people who are listening, at least they can try to see wherever possible to talk about accessibility, to talk about the possibilities to make a place inclusive and equal. So that's a request for the
And
listeners.
after all, it is not
Wherever you
going to
see the
cost you much, right? It's a normal, very nominal investment to make anything accessible.
Yeah, and we are not asking any extra. It is a part of the basic rights. It's
Yes.
part of our government rules, a
In fact,
government building
Sai, you
should
know what I feel? I feel that government is earning more from a disabled than a normal person because we are paying 100% taxes, but the utilization of government property is only 10%. Though we are utilizing 10% of the government's resources, we are paying 100% taxes. That is what I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
at end of the day, government would like to portray your pictures in the poster and telling people that we are helping to the accessible campaign. We are helping with the lot of disability schemes. But I have seen personally in the rural areas, a lot of villages, they do not know about any government schemes. They do not use wheelchair. They do not have disability pension because nobody is there to tell about what all the things you can get from the government help.
Yes.
So that's the condition. People are helpless in the rural areas, but we have to take the first step so that it can, transform. One day, I hopefully one day, India will become an accessible country.
I'm hopeful because when people like you are spreading awareness among the communities, when people like you are spreading awareness, I'm pretty hopeful. I'm positive about it.
Thank you, Suman.
Sai, I have this question for all my guests coming on Suman versus Human, and certainly you will have no option to say no. You have to answer this. Are you ready to take up this question?
Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead.
Sai, I am giving you superpowers in your hands to change something in this world. So, what is that something is going to be?
Yeah, that's very obviously. I do not have to think twice. If I get a superpower, or if I get a real Brahmastra, or a one night PM, Prime Minister or President, I will change the mindset of people with my superpower. Or if it's a physical power, I will change the rule of this disability, that nobody should be treated disabled or able. Everyone is equal. How people are getting this, how people can judge us with disability and ability, where we are not a less than other. We are doing more things than other able people. So how can everyone call us Divyang? We are general people. We are the part of society. We are part of the same country. So wherever there is equal right, every right we should also get. So that is a physical power. If I get a superpower, I will do some mantra, and all the mindset who are judging us with our disability, who feel that a Sai in wheelchair cannot do anything, or not better, cannot work on a ram show, cannot be in a face of a magazine called Times Now. I would like to change all those mindset and make them equal, that Sai is not only a wheelchair warrior, Sai can be anything, because end of possibilities is the sky. And if the sky is limit, I am going to touch that also.
Wonderful, Sai. Wonderful. If you do not mind me, I have a personal question.
Yeah,
And I hope this question is going to touch many disabled lives. Sai, when we look at our friends, when actually we are going to college, when we look at our fellow classmates, college life is so colorful, right? People go around with friends, they hang out with their partners, they have girlfriends. But people with disabilities, especially persons like you, okay, who have a lot of limitations and restrictions, right? What would be your reaction looking at them that time?
I that's a very
Personal
nice
question.
question. Yes, I understand. I see. I had not enjoyed much time in the college because of my issues and all. I had some parts of my life in distance education, some parts I went to physically, and because of my problem, I used to be getting seated different classes differently. Teachers used to come and support me. So I have not seen much in my teenage time, you know, got a chance to romance with some partner. I did not get any opportunity. I don't know, I'm unlucky or lucky, but that was not the situation. But when I now see that other friends who are well settled in their life with their life partner, they're good, getting good things, their families and all, I feel happy. I feel I give them blessings. I give them all my great wishes, because I pray to God, if I would have got a better physical, frame in my this life, I could have done much better. Because of my barrier, the fighting became much more, and it took a lot of time. Getting into hospital, getting injured, fractured, and all this thing took a lot of my time that I could have invested in a good thing. So I give them blessing. I feel happy for them that they are good with their family. They are settling and establish themselves in some parts of their career. And also, I feel becoming a disabled person cannot stop you from loving someone. A lot of my other friends in wheelchair also got married and all. It's a personal choice that you want to get into relationship or not, and it's completely fine to get into love and all, because love is the most purest thing which we ever can experience. And I don't feel that there can be any barrier, any ability or disability stop you from expressing your true love for someone. So let everyone be happy with their whatever they have, and I am happy whatever who I am.
Come on, Sai, you're already a crush of many girls. Most of your followers on your page are girls.
Oh, that means you are also stalking me. That yeah, let them be happy. Hey, if they would like to have a crush on me, let them be happy. I do not have any problem with that. But on a personal note, at this point of my life, I am now 30 plus 32. So I already have come out of that position where I could have.
No, no, Sai, don't say like that, because I have to feel bad because I'm 40.
But then it's okay. It's age is just a number. Dil to bacha hota hai. That's fine. That's okay, Suman. But I feel in this time, in my frame of life, that I am not in a position now to, go with a partner to date. But I still can love someone if I feel, and that never feels me that okay, I'm in a wheelchair. What the person will feel about me. It is not about it. It is about how you have the choice about go getting into something, or how you want to see your life. So I am happy with being single now, no problem.
Now, Sai, I want to touch the other side of you, the artistic side of you, that is your singing. It's a small request. Please don't say no. I want you to sing for my listeners.
Yeah, definitely. If you could have said no, means if you have not asked me, still I could have sing something, because I know it's sometimes so heavy for listeners to listen all my suffering, journey, trauma, and everything. But end of the day, I believe in celebration. I believe in life. Life is like a festival. You have all right to celebrate every moment, and you have all the right to celebrate on your own way. You don't have to be remote control. You do not have to give the remote control to other people and let people control your moods and emotion.
Yeah.
You take charge of your life, and you be the king of your life, and do what you feel. So among all the career of my dancing and graphic designing, motivation and all this thing, music is very close to my heart, because it used to heal my pain. It
Mm.
still does. And without music, I cannot exist. So for all my listeners, one of my favorite song which motivates me. By the way, I'm a singer, composer, and music. I did 300 composition, and
Wow.
you can find me in YouTube channel collaborating with A.R. Rahman sir, Shreya Ghoshal.
Oh.
Lot of people are there. So the listeners could find Sai Kaustub's YouTube and go and enjoy some music there.
I
But
will be
exclude
putting all those link to your sources in the description, Sai, so that my
that,
listeners can, go access your pages and resources.
yeah, super helpful, Suman. Thank you. But now exclusively, I would like to sing something for
Please,
all the
please.
people who are enjoying this podcast of Suman versus Human with a broad smile in their face. When I am down and oh my soul so very, when troubles come, my heart burdened be. Then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy sea. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Wonderful. Awesome, Sai. Thank you so much, Sai. Thank you so much for this pleasant song.
Thank you so much, Suman.
My dear listeners, this was Sai. I hope you enjoyed the show. My dear listeners, please let us know what you think about this episode through comments. I am so eager to know your opinion on this episode. Sai, thank you so much for giving me this lovely, wonderful, awesome opportunity to host you on Suman versus Human.
Thank you, Suman. And I would like to tell all the listeners that whenever you feel down, whenever you feel alone, just tune into this podcast series. Your day will be up. You will be rise up and be grateful and be always motivated because your smile can be make a lot of people's lives transform. So stay tuned with the upcoming podcast series. And thank you, Suman, for having me. And thank you for all your beautiful questions. I hope these answers will definitely going to be inspiring and motivating millions of other people in the other end.
I'm honored. It's my pleasure, Sai.